Hey everybody, Quint Lears, newhomesales.com at the Best Home Building Practices Summit here in Orlando, Florida. I'm with Rick Cosgrove and Dan Kent. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
You bet.
So, Rick, you just did a presentation about how to effectively bring plans to market. You've got some innovative solutions. Rick's a speaker and kind of a thought leader, and you specialize in really estimating and helping builders in that area. Talk about the presentation you just gave.
Really, it's more focused on the sales. Again, if you don't sell anything, then nothing happens. So Spec It Up is really wrapped around bringing a production home to market to what that market is going to want to spend and what they're going to want as far as included features.
Your exact phrase in the talk was that sales drives the bus, and I was actually refreshing because so many technology people, they're saying, "Oh no, this you can almost take it away from sales," and you're using technology with sales. Why is that important?
Well, this industry has always been wrapped around purchasing and estimating is the dog and sales is the tail, and we just don't quite believe that, and that's not really reflective as in any other industry. Sales is the dog, and the back end office is the tail. So Spec It Up is really wrapped around, again, getting to sales, selling $300,000 houses, not focusing so much on the $500 option that went with it.
And I'm going to get into Spec It Up because I thought it was interesting, but one of the main benefits, or there's many, we'll talk with Dan about this, is because you use this system, but the speed, being able to bring things to market quicker, how are you able to accomplish that?
Well, Spec It Up, we build the options not really towards any particular plan. They're built just globally. And then when we bring in a new plan, we just tell it which rooms it gets and which attributes, single story versus two story. Spec It Up will automatically create those 3,000 or however many options they are very logically, very quickly. Then we go in and to come up with selling prices, Spec It Up uses high-level key measurements like the finished square foot of the room or the finished lineal foot of the room to figure out the selling prices based on the cost at that high level multiplied by what kind of markup or margin we want to get to calculate those 7,000 selling prices for all of those options in seconds.
Now, here at newhomesales.com, we're always trying to bring innovative ideas and solutions. This is innovative in that it seems like almost like a customized calculator for the home building industry to where you can get in and say, okay, I want level 3, I want to downgrade this, upgrade that. Dan, you're the president of Kent Homes. By the way, it's great to meet your team here, and congratulations on the success of Ashley, 40 under 40. You got some neat things. What has it meant to you being able to work with Spec It Up to upgrade, downgrade per room? What has it done?
Well, it's allowed us to build our business to the point where we can grow faster because it's just a much more efficient system than what we've had in the past. The traditional method of how homes are, sold and how they are estimated and purchased, Rick with his product has pretty much turned that upside down and is really focused more on the sales process. And by doing that, it's just a much more efficient way to get the homes to market in terms of time frame. And sometimes if we were going to do a new neighborhood, the traditional method would take us months after plans were developed, and now it takes us days. So we can bring things to market, we can get our revenue quicker, so it's a big deal.
And then I want to just explain again what it is that you have a system where you can type in level A and...
So to build, say, the flooring options, we have a GUI or a widget, whatever you want to call it, where essentially you would plug in how many, what are your types, carpet, hardwood, tile. Then you would say how many different levels you want for each one of those simply by clicking a button. Then you would dictate, am I building these per room or per an attribute, which could be whatever you like. You can also at a high level say, we don't allow carpeting in the kitchens or any of the bathrooms, and we automatically will not build those. It's also going to be per room. So again, if this plan doesn't have a bedroom 4, we don't build any of those options logically for that bedroom 4. And then also to come up with the selling prices, we're going to use a high-level unit of measure like per finished square foot, $2 per finished square foot. Spec It Up We'll then, ask what kind of margin do you want on that, whether it's 40% for carpeting, 60 for hardwood. We will then calculate all of those 7,000 options within 45 seconds and get them up to sales.
And then you were in the presentation. You talked about there's two builders at $380,000, and you said, you know what, I want to see what I can take away. So it's not about speccing it up. It's almost about speccing it down. So who wants to talk about that? Do you want to take that?
It's just the way the system is built. You're able to analyze what you're going to bring to market. So when you're competing with other builders in other communities, if you're doing your due diligence, you're understanding what they're selling. And so Rick has built logic into the program that once you do that analysis, you can very quickly take options out of it, or you can of the system, or you can add options in without going to estimating, without doing any cumbersome work. So it's very efficient, and you can get to your final selling price a lot quicker.
Now, at the end of your presentation, you talk about technology companies that don't know anything about the home building industry. So you talk about you have a background in home building, swinging a hammer actually out of high school or college, but then you're a technology, but now you talk about sales. So which is it? Is it sales, technology, builder? What are you?
I came out of the womb and said, but mom was my first word. So I've been selling my whole life, but I sell what I believe in, and these are solutions I truly believe in. It's where I think the market needed to go. Again, this industry kind of steps over dollars to pick up dimes, because we're so much into the detail of everything. This kind of brings it up to a level which really needs to be focused on.
And then one last thing, at the end you said it makes the estimating and the builder more proactive instead of being reactive?
It makes purchasing and estimating be more reactive than have to be proactive. I know sounds completely
I thought it was wrong. I thought I was going to correct you and be like, did you mean it the other way?
People would. No, I do not. I mean, and a purchasing estimator should not do a detailed takeoff on a 3-car garage if we've never sold that 3-car garage on that house. It's only after that we need to go build it that they should go through that work. So again, we're getting with so many options for plans and whatnot. I've got clients that have 5,000-6,000 options per plan to do all of the detailed takeoff and purchasing everything for that. Well, not the purchasing, but the detailed takeoff. It's just kind of madness. That plan may never see the light of day, right? So Spec It Up can come up with at a higher level selling prices, whatnot, get that thing to market, and know that we're going to be profitable. I think, again, we get too much into the detail. We need to be up a few levels. Boeing doesn't figure out exactly what a 747 costs before they go and sell it. An iPhone 10 does not cost twice as much as an iPhone 7, even though they sell it for twice that.
You're saying it's the market-driven.
The market determines what they're willing to pay for something.
I agree wholly. It's market-based.
This industry has been where we need to figure out exactly what an option costs, multiply it by 42.5%, and that's the perfect selling price. And I think that's flawed.
And one other thing we talked about is, or you were talking about, is there's different prices for options. So a wood floor would have a different markup than, let's say, a Whirlpool refrigerator. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah. It's just that it goes back to the market calculation. What will the market bear for a structural option or hardwood, and what will the market bear for appliances? So obviously, appliances are more of a retail product. So as a home builder, you're not going to mark that up with the same margin as you would a structural option or a flooring option. So
and also Spec It Up brings that to a level to where that's realized even if those things are in the base house. If we need to get 40% for carpeting, we get 40% for carpeting, whether it's an included feature in the base house or whether somebody upgrade to it. If we want 60% for hardwood, we're going to get that. If we can only get 15% for appliances, we get that. We're not dumping everything in the base house and assuming we can get 40% for everything.
And last quick question, how's the conference been for both of you so far?
For me, it's been great. There's a lot of great builders here. It's a very good event. Very happy that we came.
And you do a lot of work with Bob Schultz and his team and through sales. How has that had an impact on Kent Homes?
Oh, it's been tremendous. Bob Schultz is a leader in the industry when it comes to sales and marketing. Bob Witten's a leader in the industry when it comes to operations and management. So I have partnered with them for years, and it's helped me build my company. It's helped me train my daughter, who now is sales and marketing manager for Kent Homes. So, I'm a big believer in learning from these types of conferences. You might think you always know it, but every year you come back, you always learn something different.
What I think is interesting, usually there's like a lot of rah-rah. Here it seems deep. It seems like people are going deep on some like really practical, not like I learned a lot from your presentation. So any last shout outs, any other?
It's kind of like the manual in your car. You read it after 5 years. Wow, I never knew my seat did that. There's always something to be learned.
And you were talking about you want to help builders win the battle, the war. What? Curious about.
Spec It Up's really designed, for somebody like you can use whatever term, but say a division president, to go into that new market, use Spec It Up to analyze, go to market, and win the war.
How do we reach you, and how do we contact you?
You can at specitup.net, specitup.net. Phone number is 720-770-5000. My email is rick@specitup.net.
Enjoyed your presentation, very innovative product, and look forward to see. And you're coming up with a big transition early next year. What's that going to be?
Yeah, by end of year, we'll be a complete sales system.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Thanks for being on the program and your contribution. Dan, pleasure to meet you, and congratulations on Kent Homes.